That's what you've got to realize. Everything is a message. Everything has an agenda. I have an agenda for freedom and liberty and the republic and private property and the Second Amendment. And I wear it on my sleeve right here. I wear it on my heart. I speak it. I have an agenda. I tell you who I am. I tell you what I want. They don't. They know you're relaxed watching a movie or relaxed watching a sitcom. You're in that suspended disbelief, unquestioning mode, eating popcorn, and they just are hitting you with brainwashing. Be aware of it. Ask yourself why you value the World Cup over private property. About 45 minutes ago, Jaron told me he was watching a live press conference with Petraeus, Obama, and Vice President Biden, and that he saw Obama say, our democracy is strong because of institutions, not individuals. And we were not recording yet on TiVo. And you know how you can rewind on TiVo? Or whatever system that is out there, DVR, while the show's going. And then we had it, and I told him to play it, and we lost it. But we'll have it by tomorrow regardless. It'll be all over YouTube and stuff. People will upload it. And he did say, our democracy is strong because of institutions, not individuals. I mean, that is the opposite of what this country was founded on. And it's just so incredible to see them openly teaching collectivism. Collectivism is bondage. Collectivism isn't being able to choose who you want to associate with, what you want to try to be in life, what you want to say, think, wear, eat, what you believe in, what you want to stand up for. It's just so amazing. I'm going to continue with the news after the break with McChrystal and what's happening with Iran and a lot more. But first, let's go ahead and go back to your calls. I've covered news for a while. Let's go ahead. And who's up first here, John? Pat in Texas, you're on the air.
Hello. I just wanted to tell you that I almost fell off my chair last night at the 10 o'clock news on Channel 4 in Dallas, Fox News. They were talking about the Dallas Police Department, and he called it a paramilitary force, not police.
No, they hide all this in plain view, and they tell the police you're federalized, you're a paramilitary force. Their internal training is gun owners, veterans, conservatives are their number one enemy. I mean, look, the police and military on an individual basis are not traitors, are not bad. Some are, but on an individual basis, you can't judge them. But the system and the orders they're given and the culture that they've been incrementally brought into is 180 degrees in the opposite direction of our republic. It is treason.
Yeah, I just didn't expect them to do it, like you said, in plain sight.
Ma'am, I didn't expect the Pentagon to admit they're growing the opium in Afghanistan, or they put out fake bin Laden videos, or that they lie and say they've killed al-Qaeda leaders. I mean, again, they're really getting to the point of just throwing it in our face.
Well, anyway, like I said, I just couldn't believe it.
Ma'am, I can't believe it either. God bless you, and I appreciate your call. I mean, I couldn't believe it 2 weeks ago when I had the Fort Worth Star-Telegram with the police chief with the headline, Police Chief Promotes Hormone Replacement. And then he was talking about the police injecting anabolic steroids and testosterone and how great it is. I mean, again, I'm not the toughest guy in the world, but I'm red-blooded, and I've got my normal testosterone, and I've got to control myself. I've got to think, I'm a loving, nice person. I'm a good person. You know, I'm a sweet person. I mean, I'm the type of person, somebody gets in my face, I immediately want to physically attack them. That's how men have always been. What? I mean, no wonder cops are going crazy, beating people up and going nuts all the time, injecting steroids. It's come out some departments, half of the men are on roids. Some of the women are taking it. What are you doing? I mean, I've read what anabolic steroids do, and it intensifies everything that testosterone already does naturally. Delusions of grandeur, excessive rage, aggression, lunacy. I mean, warlikeness. I mean, of course we've got problems. They're hopping the cops up on steroids. Oh, man. I just don't understand it. I mean, I cannot imagine from what I've read, taking steroids, folks. I cannot. I mean, I feel crazed right now. I feel completely aggressive right now. I feel like I could go out and get in a fight with, I could take on 10 guys right now. That's how I feel every day. And the more I exercise, the worse it gets. Yeah, that's why when I diet and don't lift. See, I've been dieting. I've lost a lot of weight. I've been lifting. I've been running. I've been swimming, and I'm just getting wild. That's because I'm boosting my regular testosterone. So you got a bunch of paramilitary people hopped up on drugs, running around, who've been taught the American people are their enemy. Okay, I want to get into the Iran situation, and I've got mainstream news articles also here in my stack out of India, where they're reporting that in major towns and cities where they've been fluoridating the water under IMF World Bank funding, because the IMF World Bank cares so much about your teeth, they come in and will spend millions, even on a small town, lobbying just to get you to drink that, because the big central bankers, they want your pension funds, and they want your land, and they always fund eugenics organizations and openly say there's too many of us, but they care about our teeth. And it just so happens it sterilizes, reduces fertility, and is causing massive bone cancer and deformities. And the Indian government's even admitting this now. So I saw another group of EPA scientists coming out and saying it should be taken out of the water. So those are some other articles that I have. But again, there's no government conspiracy. Sure, it sterilizes. Sure, it causes bone cancer. But they're not doing it because they want to hurt you. No. They're doing it because they want to take good care of you. Right now, let's go to Joanne in Ohio. You're on the air.
Hi, Alex. How are you today?
I am doing all right.
Well, I had got on your site, because there's been growing talk of nuking this well. And I read on your site about, the methane eruptions, the giant tsunamis, and, a lot of the different problems that could come from that. But I got to look, and there is a rather large fault line through New Orleans, and it winds off and heads westward through Texas, and then the other portion heads up to the Great Lakes.
Well, that's right. I'm on the Balcones fault line, and there are scores of extinct volcanoes all around Austin where I live, and that fault line goes out towards Louisiana and then out into the Gulf. And that's why the Mississippi, every 100 years or so, there's a big earthquake, and it changes its course. It changes, basically where it's traveling from the north to the south, in some cases up to 5 miles. And we have posted links to reports by geologists that are concerned about if a nuke is detonated via slant drilling to try to stop this oil that's pouring out, it may fracture the entire structure and may detonate the methane or other natural gas that's down there and can cause some type of chain reaction. And a lot of people with letters behind their names say this is a potential problem, which may be part of the plan. I mean, they may have chosen this area and are meaning to wind this up to that point. I mean, who knows? The sky's the limit with these globalists. They'll do anything to bring in their world government.
Exactly. I had contacted a geologist, Mike Hansen, at the Ohio Seismic Network. And, nukes were regularly tested underground, but never near fault lines. What a way to drive the American people into Camp FEMA.
Well, who knows? Who knows? But when they do drive us into Camp FEMA, I mean, America already has more people in prison than any other nation. We already have our kids more brainwashed and trained to line up and be searched than any other country. We're already in Camp FEMA. But yes, they want to accelerate it. And I think people realize now this is the time of intensification of oppression. Joanne, good to hear from you. Scotty in Kentucky, you're on the air.
Alex.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. Alex, what I was wanting to touch up on here, the lady just kindly touched up on it, is the oil coming up in the Gulf. What about all the gases that can build up under the surface? Because we have like the killer lakes in Africa, which ever so often the gases turn up, and they killed like 1,700 people in 1986. I just want to touch up on that.
Well, there's a lot of confusion going on because it is a complex world, and there's a lot of different factors. They drill for natural gas. They drill into these deposits all the time, and there are huge deposits in the Gulf, and when they find oil, they generally find natural gas. I would imagine they probably hit natural gas and oil at several other levels on their way down before they were going for the main zone they were after. I mean, that's standard operating procedure from what I've researched. People that work in oil fields can call and correct me if I'm wrong. So they've already fractured the structure. It's already leaking up to 20 miles away. The issue is detonating a nuke down there, they believe will just fracture all of that even more and create more cracks up to the surface and could release even bigger multi-billion-gallon reservoirs. And if it hits some big reservoirs of natural gas, a nuke will probably cause a chain reaction in the gas and will probably break the structure up even more and cause more leaking. But don't worry, Obama and BP will have a new carbon tax that will handle that problem for you.
Man, that just kills me to think about that.
Well, they're mad. They're control freaks. I mean, they didn't get their Copenhagen Global Treaty to pay your tax money directly to Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan Chase that run out the IMF and World Bank. I mean, they're openly saying you're going to pay your taxes to them.